Hey, good morning, everybody. Rory Powers, Right Line Trading. Hope everyone had a nice evening. Big news report this morning. Before we get started, let me start with our disclaimer. This broadcast is for demonstration and educational purposes only. It's important to know that I am not a licensed financial advisor. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. Okay, with that being said, let's get started. This morning we had the PPI report, not to be confused with the big one tomorrow. The big one is the CPI report. The PPI report came back a little hotter than they expected. Let's see what kind of effect it had. Right at 8:30, you see the big candle down. And the market does not like gaps, likes to fill in those gaps. So I see a little bit of a retracement. Once that opening bell rings at 9:30, we will see how this plays out. But evidently, the report came back. Let's see here. Accelerated in April. The PPI accelerated in April more than what was forecasted. It advanced 0.5% month over month in April, greater than the 0.3% increase that was anticipated. So it went up to 0.5% month over month. They anticipated a 0.3% increase. So let's see, it's 9:28. We got a couple minutes here. See, the retirement plan is in this trade. The signal B30 range, which is our haymaker strategy. We traded right through the report. It made about $1,300 or $1,400 on that big move down. If you were brave enough to trade through the report. I haven't gone to any of my live accounts yet. And I'm just going to wait till the opening bell and see what happens with the market, and then we can make a game time decision. If this is your first time joining us today, I'm featuring the AI Auto Trader, which is a fully automated, can be either traded as a fully automated trading system where once the strategies are enabled, it will execute and manage the trades on your behalf. Or it can be traded as a semi-automated system. Once the trades are executed, my stop and my profit targets are projected on the chart. I do have the liberty to move those as I see fit, or even close the position. So I'm always in control. It's not a black box system. And we're going to be simultaneously trading all of the index equities. The NASDAQ, futures, all futures. NASDAQ, Russell, E-mini. And the Dow. It looks like 9:30 just hit. Now we've got a really diversified portfolio. We've also added crude oil and gold to the mix, which have really been some great additions. Having that diversity has really helped us. So it's continuing to bounce here a little bit after that big move down. You can see my haymaker strategy this morning. Just crushed it. Jumped in and got that big move down and rode it for the full excursion. Then jumped in again short. Oops. Jumped in again short here and took a nice winner. And then it looks like it pulled in a loser. But listen, our risk to reward is really in our favor here. We could take some losers. It's not going to put us on the sideline. and we can continue to trade. Myself, I'm a little conservative with my capital preservation. If I see I'm up $1,300, and this was my live account, myself, I would let me make sure my camera's on here. Myself, I would stop trading, and I would put it to sim like it is now, and I would enjoy the day stress free. So I think it's important to have a profit goal, and once we reach it, we put it in sim and take it as a green day. Count it all joy. I see the Russell's doing extremely well this morning. The Signal B, our Signal Bs. Let me make sure my chat's working. If you could see my screen, hear my voice, give me some kind of sign that you're alive and well. Hey, Dr. Jeff. Yeah, I'm off the beach today, and I've got my webcam so you can see me a little better. And okay, you are alive. Amen. This is my first day back from the weekend. Mark Miller was with us yesterday. If you're a mother, I wanted to wish you a belated Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. My mother passed in 2009, but she was still in my mind this past Sunday. God rest her soul. So our Signal Bs are looking good. Kind of anticipating a roll to the downside, but you never know. You know, the system relies completely on the technicals. I was looking through my trade performance for this week. I really like to look at a short picture, kind of what have you done for me lately. And I narrowed it down to my 3 top strategies. Are obviously going to be that 30 range Signal B. Toby, you know I'm going to ask you. What do you like, Toby? What's the crystal ball saying this morning? We've got a member here, Toby, who is really good. He has the gift of discernment. He's able to select which strategy is going to do the best, and he's really good at it. So, Toby, help us out here. We got a lot of new members that came on board. I want to welcome you. And if you have any questions, please put them in the questions box in the chat box. I'll do my best to answer them for you. So we're kind of just filling in that gap from that big move down at 8:30. This is our 2-minute retirement plan. Moving right up into that resistance, trying to break through. This is about the 4th time it's tested it. So the NASDAQ looks like it's trying to push higher. Hey, Rao. Good morning. I was thinking of you. I was going through the results this week. The gold nugget is hot. The gold nugget. Gold nugget looks good. This is the P&L on the gold nugget this week. Gold Nuggets trades one contract on gold. It's on a 15 range data series. I was looking at my three top. There goes the retirement plan. Looks like it was able to push through. I wanted to show Rao though the gold performance looking nice on the retirement plan. I'll give it plenty of room. See if we can make it up to our profit target. If you're in the trade on a live account, if you want to move your profit target before those areas of resistance, you have that discretion. I'm going to leave it hands-free on these accounts. If I get into a trade on my Apex account, sometimes, most of the time, I like to move the stop a little bit and manage it myself. But the strategies that we're running on these SIM accounts, we're not going to touch. And it's important not to, because the way the system works is each one of these instruments has a bot and a drone that run simultaneously. And it's important to know that they both have to be enabled in order for it to work properly. The drone is giving the bot information. They're sharing a database, and that database that they share is letting the bot know where the ideal location to put the stop and the profit targets are. So we want to leave those running in tandem. And out of the box, when you order the AI Auto Trader, we have a special tool that we developed to install the AI and set up individual SIM accounts for each one of our strategies. The reason we do that, mainly, is so we can get a historical performance of each individual strategy. And that plays into our decision-making process as to which ones we want to trade live. We want to trade our hottest, most profitable strategies if we decide to go to a live or funded account. Crude oil is getting tremendous volume this morning. Oh my goodness. Let me show you crude. Let's go take a look real quick. Look at this crude. Crude, I was watching it pre-market, was up to 8,000 contracts per minute. This isn't crude. This is gold. Let's take a look at crude real quick. That's my gold nugget strategy, which has been really hot. That's the one that I showed you just a few moments ago. That took very few losers this week. It's on a real hot streak. It's up $1,000. The maximum drawdown is $230 this week. So the gold nugget is one of our top strategies this week. What I wanted to show you was crude oil, because we do have, no, that's tomorrow. Black gold, here it is. Now you can see my crude oil and my gold side by side here. Crude oil is just in a monster trade. I was watching crude this morning, and it was turning 8,000 contracts per minute. And we just got a good pop on gold as well. So let's look at the big picture on black gold. I really like the movement of this one. Wow, look at that. Look at that signal A. Holy moly. I really like that signal A on crude. Now, what I mean by signal A, if you're just joining us, we have two entries. Soon to be three, if the testing continues the way it has been. But let's focus on the two we do have. Our signal A entry is looking at this RSI line in our Laguerre oscillator. Once it crosses the 20 or the 80, it's going to trigger a trade. So you can see here this red X on my crude oil chart came out when the RSI line crossed through the 80% of my Laguerre oscillator. Would have taken a tremendous short entry there. Then when it crossed above the 20% line, it took this long entry. With this volatility, the signal A entry loves this up and down movement. If a market's trending just one way, straight up, straight down, then you might want to go to a signal B. Oh, Powell. Thank you, Charles. Okay, I think maybe that's why we're kind of a little bit sideways on that NASDAQ. So Jerome Powell's talking here in just a few minutes. Tomorrow is going to be a huge report with the CPI. The investors want to see those interest rates come down. They want to see the Fed lower the rates. With these hot reports, it kind of takes it off the table. Take a quick look at the Forex Factory here. Fed Chair Powell speaks at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. So we've got some really exciting trades on crude oil. Got some really good volatility there we could try to capitalize on. $9.44. So Powell's going to talk in about 15 minutes. Looks like the market kind of came back to where it was prior to the report, maybe a little higher. Here's our E-mini chart. Let's take a little closer look at the E-mini just for a second. Yeah, it's been very flat. Overnight, it was straight sideways up until the report. Okay, the haymaker's in. It likes this move up. The trigger on the signal B is a disparity between uptick and downtick. It's looking at those market internals, and the haymaker is really one of our most exciting strategies. It just jumped in long on signal B. And this is our hot strategy. This is on our leaderboard as number 1 this morning. Let's see if it could break through this area of resistance. I'm going to be a little cautious here with Powell coming out in about 15 minutes. Yeah, he says one wrong thing and everything can come tumbling down quick. My RTY signal B has been a really hot strategy as well. It's having a really hot week. The signal B, that's our trend trading strategy that I was just mentioning. Our trend trading trigger, excuse me. So there's two triggers, the signal A, the signal B. The A I mentioned earlier comes with the cross of the RSI line in our Laguerre oscillator. Signal B, looking for a trend trade following in the direction of institutional money. All right, it got nicked out there. It got wicked out. So let's see here. This is the Forex Factory here. Forex Factory candle. We've got Fed Chair Powell speaking at 10. Tomorrow's the big day. That core CPI report is a big one. Then we have the manufacturing index all at 8:30 pre-market. God willing, we'll start at 9:30, and depending on what those reports say, could be some great trading opportunities tomorrow. Who knows, today too, with Powell speaking in just about 15 minutes. But the system really, trading all of the index equities, crude oil and gold, you really have your finger on the pulse of the market. There goes the Russell. You can see my 50 is red. My 15 is red. For that signal B, that's helping us define the market structure of a downtrend. Got a very tight stop on this. The drone has told the bot, "Hey, move your stop in. Don't risk a lot of money." See what kind of positions we're in. These are our open positions. Dow long on the signal A. And crude long on the signal A and B. So crude is headed north right now. You can see this beautiful trade. I'm kind of tempted to go with that signal A. Black gold is a signal A entry. All right, so I think patience is really important. So with Jerome Powell getting ready to speak, just going to sit on. I'm going to sit on my hands and just let the system trade. I currently have 5 accounts with Apex. Just got a lot of positions open just now. Russell and the Dow jumped in. Russell on the signal A. I'm going to keep a close eye on crude. Right now, crude and the Haymaker are kind of sticking out. I'm waiting for Toby. Toby must be sleeping in this morning. What a beautiful day it was, Mother's Day, Sunday. My wife insisted I go fishing for a few hours. And wow, what a day fishing. It's dolphin season. They're here. Okay, here we go. Haymaker short. This is what I was waiting for. I figure it's only a matter of time before this thing comes tumbling down, but who knows? It'll kind of be interesting to see what Powell has to say. He knows tomorrow the CPI report is going to be released. What's great about the robot is it doesn't even know, it doesn't care what Jerome Powell has to say. There's no emotion, there's no bias. It does what the how the technicals line up. That's what it's based on. All human emotion is out of the equation, which is something that I really need. Without it, I'm just the world's worst trader. I have my own opinions and biases of which way I think the market's going to go, and I'm always wrong. Got this area of consolidation here on the NASDAQ. Let's check out our 2-minute. We could catch a nice short trade on our 2-minute now. Let's watch that RSI line. There it goes. I knew it. That 2-minute just jumped in short too. Ooh, and look at all that resistance. That 2-minute short's a good trade. I think I'm going to enable my apex on the 2-minute NASDAQ. Try to get into that trade. Short trade. So I enabled my retirement plan. It's got a ton of resistance to the upside. I know Powell's about to come out and say something. See if I got in. Nope. I think I missed it. So here's the haymaker. Took a counter trend trade on the shift of momentum. My 50 is clearly green. The market's been headed up. And we've got a 50-tick trailing stop on this trade. Crude oil is kind of just one good stiff wind and we'll be through our profit target on crude. Might go to the signal A on crude. Here we go. Here we go. This is that short roll that we were anticipating. Let me keep an eye on the 2-minute just for a moment here. Okay. Yeah, with all of that resistance to the upside on that 2-minute chart, man, I really like that trade. I was a little late to the game. So the 30 range got a nice profit on that one. And our 2-minute is going to moving a little slower, a little more deliberate. You can see my open positions systems really trading in some really nice positions right now. Black gold being the biggest one at 830 right now. comes the roll. So if we go to crude oil on the apex, what I'm going to do is I'm going to load. So I want to try to get this short roll on crude. So I'm going to go to my templates and load that black gold. Might have just missed it, but maybe not. I'm going to load the black gold template. And I'm going to make sure that it's on crude oil. And I'm going to put it in my Apex account. And I'll look to jump into this trade. I might have been a little slow, but I've been watching that strategy all morning and really like the movement on it. That signal B on the 30 looks good right now too. So I'm also going to take my hottest strategy. I'm going to take off the NASDAQ 2-minute for now. And I'm going to go back with the signal B on the 30 range. Which is the hot strategy right now. It's up $1,000. I see my 15 and my 50 are red, and they're sloping down. So I'm going to try to get this trade here to the downside. The 15 just crossed the 50. The strategy's been performing really well this morning. So that was my thinking process. I'm putting that on my Apex account. I just got in on crude oil on the Apex. Let's see if I can get a short roll. And that 2-minute retirement plan is still maturing to the downside. I was a little late on that. I did see it a little too late. It would have been a really nice entry too. This entry here came right off of all of these areas of resistance. Take a look at the crude oil trade. Big swings up and down on crude. Obviously now I'm looking for a big swing to the downside. My 15 and 50 are sloped straight up. So it's really a counter trend trade. The difference, Stephen, is the retirement plan doesn't have that it doesn't have the AI logic. It doesn't have that AI integration. The retirement plan is a regular bot that's not going to that isn't used at all with the artificial intelligence. They're both very similar, though. They both have the same trigger, which is the cross of the gear. They're very similar. Signal B jumped in. It might be in this position as well. Let's see. Yep. So we did take this this roll. See the new entry that we're going to be releasing, if the testing holds up, it looks for these pullbacks into the 50 and a continuation and a roll down. Let's go back to the signal B. Jerome Powell is talking. I would imagine he's speaking right now. I've got my 5-year-old bouncing off the walls here. We're looking to get her started in kindergarten ASAP. I was going to email myself a picture of the of one of the fish this morning. Hey, good morning, Michael. What is the solid red-green line versus the dash? That's a good question. Those are moving averages. The dotted line is going to be our 15 EMA. It's really an EMA of an EMA, but let's just call it a 15 moving average. And the solid line is my 15. My 15 and my 50. And we like to use those lines for market structure to see if we're in an up or a down trend. The 15 EMA is a really good assessment of momentum as well. We're kind of flat on the NASDAQ. We call in, Michael, in the settings, it's important to know, we call the 15 EMA our modified fast. Modified fast is the name of the indicator. And if I right-click my chart and I go to indicators, there's a folder called the Market Internals P. That's the set of indicators that this system leverages. And if I open that folder, you'll see the modified slow is our 50, 50, and our modified fast is our 15. And those are really can be used effectively in the strategy parameters. As software developers, first as traders, our number one job isn't necessarily to take winning trades, but to sidestep the losers. Number two is to take winning trades. Number one is not to take losers. We don't want to pull in a bunch of losers. So as software developers, we use these indicators to define risk and try to find our optimal entries where risk is at its lowest. Our trading system really does a great job of tracking institutional money. And one of the ways we track it, and there's several, is by using those moving averages. Because the institutions are the ones creating the trend. And if we want to follow in their footsteps and trade in the same direction as they are, then we need to look at what those moving averages are doing. That's one important component. I might, you know what? I think I might still be. Yeah, I am still in this position here on my Apex. So I'm in this one long. Gave it one more shot. Hopefully, Powell whispers in the market's ear here and whispers sweet nothings. And my crude trade is maturing here a little bit to the downside. I'm getting a little bit of breathing room. I don't want to talk too soon. We got to break through that 50, and we might be in a good trade there. Going back to the 15 and the 50, it's a good, market structure-wise. We like on a long trade for the 15 to have crossed the 50 and sloping up. The 50 green and also sloping up. But you could see I just got wicked out on this trade. This long trade came back and got me. So I've taken two losers now on that 30 range. So until the market finds a direction, I'm just going to disable that strategy for now. Once it finds a direction, we'll try to go back to the NASDAQ. But I've pulled in two losers on that. So let's go back to our signal B. Keep an eye on it. You can see what happened, though, is the signal B this morning on that big move down on the PPI report, it was up 1,1300, which would have been a great time to stop trading. Now we've given back 500 or 600. So if we can make $1,000 and disable it and be done for the day, that we're not putting any of our capital at risk. We went to bed at night knowing we made $1,000. Whether you trade a live account or a prop account, nobody wants to take a drawdown. And man, I've kicked myself. How many times have we been up and continued to trade and give it all back? I want to give this crude trade room, but I'm one who likes to squeeze my stops, and I'm down 360, but I'm not going to look at that. What I'm really keeping an eye on this trade is my Laguerre. Which way is momentum? If that thing is buried to the downside, I'm okay. I'm not going to worry. If this thing starts breaking up and momentum shifts, then I've got something to be concerned about. So I'm not going to let this little bounce off the 50 cause me to make any sudden bad decisions. Here we go. We got the same trade with the retirement plan. Bouncing off of this resistance. David Wise told me don't even look at the P&L. Don't even look at those numbers. If you're somebody who, like me, that sees those numbers and gets emotionally attached or makes your decisions based on those numbers, don't let that be the way. I'm going to put myself in the first person. I can't let that dictate my decision making. My decision making has to be on the technicals of the trade. So my Laguerre is buried. I'm in good shape. I'm going to go back to this 30 range. Now I see my 15 crossing my 50, and my Laguerre is buried. So I'm trying to jump into this short trade. Nasdaq's a little bit choppy right now. The one that's trending nicely, we've got a good trade on crude oil here. I really like the way it looks so far. See, this is that prime time entry, that retracement and continuation down. It's going to take those trades with a little bit of a delay. It's a confluence entry. It's looking at a number of different things. And there'll be a little bit of a delay, but this is the perfect prime time entry that we see on the NASDAQ 30 range. It'll get a couple confirmation bars, and then it's going to pop us in and ride it to the downside. Really need some follow through. Thank you, Charles. Charles gave a little bit more of an explanation on the difference between on the difference between the retirement plan and that Signal A drone. The haymaker is going to roll. If this goes to the downside, my signal A's and B's on the NASDAQ are going to take off. My 5-minute cash register just set up for a short. You can see my VWAP. I put my VWAP on the ES chart. David Wise, who is our professional options trader, set the conditions on this strategy. He looks at that volume weighted average price, which is my pink dotted line. We never want to go short above the VWAP. We only want to take long trades when price is above the VWAP. This is our VWAP here. We didn't get the short roll. Our 2-minute is coming back to retest that area of resistance. I'm going to disable my 30 range. It's got a tough mountain to climb there on the NASDAQ with all of that resistance to the upside. Our crude trade just broke through the 50. Oh, now we took that trade long. Let's see if it can get through this area of resistance. It's quite a bit. It looks like Jerome Powell whispered in the markets here, perhaps. Maybe this is what pushes it through. Let's see. It's popping. There goes the volume. You can see the spike in volume. Big time spike. Right into that resistance. Right into that resistance. Let's see if it can break through. This might push it through. Big spike in volume. So right now, institutional money is pushing the price of the NASDAQ higher and the E-mini. We get through this area here, we could be off to the races. Here we go. So I'm going to go back to my signal B. And there it goes. There it goes. Bam. Big pop. There it goes. The haymaker's going to go all the way on this. And this potentially could be about $1,000 trade. If I can get my crew to come on down. Hopefully I popped in on my other account. I'm short crude. Yep, I'm in now. So let's go to, this one's about to hit. I'm a little late to the party on my Apex account, but I did get in a little late. We're looking to capitalize on this move up on the NASDAQ. My Laguerre's pinned to the top. So it's momentum is still headed straight up. Come on, don't stop now. Still nice volume. There you go. There you go. Come on, push up. Now, using that strategy that Mark Miller released a really exciting strategy for prop traders. It just requires 60 ticks, which we would have got just now. It trades 10 contracts. It's a 1-day pass. It's a 1-day pass. It's a 1-day ticket to pass your evaluation, and that trade would have accomplished our goal. With the evaluation, there is no 30% rule. For prop traders, it's important to know. Well, this thing is going to continue up, it appears. But for the evaluation, there is no 30% rule, and you can pass in 1 day. Now, once you get your PA account, the rules change a little bit. And tomorrow we're going to talk about that 30% rule on PA accounts. Our number one goal, if we're prop traders, is to be able to withdraw money. So it's important that we understand the rules in order to withdraw the money. To get from an evaluation to a PA account through the end of the month, there's an 80% discount on Apex. I know Top Step was running a nice sale, but on Apex we have the 1-day pass. And Mark configured we have available for our members an ATM strategy that all you need is one trade. I'm still enabled on that instrument. So if this continues up, it's I could pop right back in. So the 1-day pass is a really exciting strategy with 80% off. If we just put it into context, we're talking about $30 for a $50,000 account. I think it comes out to $33. With the strategy, an ATM strategy is what I'm referring to, is where our stop and our profit targets are and the number of contracts we're going to trade. Well, we released to our members the 1-day pass strategy. The 1-day pass strategy is one trade, you get 60 ticks, you got a PA account. Okay? I saw Mark earlier in the week or last week, on one trade, get five accounts converted from an evaluation to a performance account. And then once we have our performance accounts, our strategy then would have to change just a little bit. We'd have to be a little more conservative and adhere to that 30% rule. And tomorrow we're going to go over that 30% rule. I've watched a few videos and I've got a pretty good understanding of it. All right, let's see what happens here. We're getting a retracement. Price always wants to revert back to the mean. Once we get into an oversold environment, price is going to, it's not just, a lot of times, the market isn't just going to go straight up. We're going to get a series of ups and downs, pullbacks to the 50, to the mean. The 50 is the mean, the average. So once we get into that oversold environment, we get a retracement back to the mean, back to the 50, and then potentially a continuation up into the trend. And that's really that confluence that new entry is going to capitalize on. Stephen, the one-day pass is in Mark Miller posted it in our Discord chat. When I'm done trading, I'll send it to you through Discord. We have a great Discord chat for our members, a ton of resources. And Mark is, let me tell you, I really like his style of trading. He's really great at getting those evaluations converted. And that's what we want. We want you to get those evaluations converted. We want you to have a payday. That's number one. So my crude trade now, what I'm going to do with my crude trade, I'm up about $400 on the trade. Obviously, I don't want it to come all the way back at this point. What I like to do is I like to pin it. I like to pin my stop to my 15 EMA. It squeezes it a little. But now that I'm up, I have some wiggle room. I'm about midway between my stop and my profit target. So what I could do is I can right-click my stop, and this pops up, and it allows me to attach my stop to an indicator. So I'm going to go to Properties, and in my list, I'm going to find my modified fast. That's my 15 EMA, and I'm going to pin it to that. And now my stop is a momentum-based trailing stop based on my 15 EMA. So I've locked in some of the profits. I'm not going to give it all back. And now I have my stop trailing the trade based on momentum, a momentum-based trailing stop. So I'm in this nice position on my Apex account on crude oil. Boom, and we just popped in short. Oops. We just popped in short on the NASDAQ. Come on down. I'm going to squeeze it a little bit. My profit goal is $500. I'm just trying to make $500. If I make any more than that, then that's icing on the cake. Got a big push down here. You see the volume. It's really good volume right now. Jerome Powell must have said the wrong thing there. But we're going to trail this a little bit tighter than normal. So I'm just manually moving my stop down. I don't want it to pop back up and lose some of these profits. I'd love it to keep going down, obviously. Come on. There you go. Now we're talking. Let's give this, let's let it run if it wants to. Got a nice leg down that we found. Maybe we'll roll off this 15 a little further. Okay, nice. So we hit our profit target, and I'm just going to disable this. I'm happy right there, and I'm in my crude oil trade. The Signal B drone is up 2,000 now. So it stuck its head out this morning, and it came over our radar, I like to call it. Pre-market, it was up over 1,000. Excuse me. Pre-market, it was up over 1,000, which brought it to my attention. So I was able to get into at first I took a couple losers on it. With the risk to reward ratio in our favor, we can afford a couple losers. It's not going to put us on the sideline. We were still in the game. And finally, the market found a direction, and we got into a couple of nice trades on that Signal B. It's about to jump in again. My Signal B reached its limit, so it's not going to trigger. But if it hadn't reached 2,000, this cross on my chart, which can be traded on a discretionary basis, is giving us a beautiful entry signal to go short. So you can see now the system is really running up the score. And this is the power of the AI auto right here. When you get moves like we've seen today, this is a system that has the potential to put a lot of money in the bank. It was hard to pick a loser. Let's see what positions we're in now. Got a lot of green positions open. That CL trade we're watching. The ES, the cash registers in short. We broke through on the cash register. We broke through the VWAP. We broke through that VWAP. And that's a good indication to go short. It's a little hard to see on my chart. Let me see if I can stretch it out just a little bit. Just broke through. Let's see if we can get some follow through on that E-mini. So back to the one-day pass, because I think it's important to know, especially with the sale that's running right now. The sale with Apex is they have the one-day pass, which means you don't need 10 trading sessions. You could do a one and done. With a $50,000 account, you could trade 10 contracts. And that's just what that strategy calls for, is 10 contracts. You get 10 contracts, 60 ticks at $5 a tick, that's $3,000. I think it goes for 61 ticks to 61 or 2 to account for commissions. So one good trade, the winning percentage on the haymaker is right around between 35 and 40%. About 35% win rate. So you figure statistically, it should take us about 3 tries, right? 1 in 3. So worst case scenario, I'm talking statistics. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed. Potentially, you could take 10 losers in a row. That's just trading. But I'm just going by the statistics of it. If you have about a 33, let's call it a 33% win rate on the haymaker, and you got three $50,000 accounts, and you take the one day pass on 3 separate trades, statistically you're going to hit one of them, right? So as a member, we share with you a one-day pass. We're going to share them for any size prop account. And we want you to get the PA performance accounts. And then we're going to practice something a little more conservative to gain some consistency. We're going to go back to, our we'll start with one contract and just try to chip away at it. We could use a trade copier, bring a trade copier in, which is where I'm going to go. Once I have the 500 accounts, and use a trade copier and just try to, chip away at a consistent equity stream. And we want to make a withdrawal every few weeks on Apex or whichever prop firm that you're going to go with. I'm curious to see what this E-mini does because we got through our VWAP. We're just really tight on the trade. Our stop is, very little risk with these ATM strategies, which is good. We don't want to find ourselves in a deep hole. So if we can get ourselves a little wiggle room here now that we're below the VWAP, this thing might run to the downside for us. The haymaker's getting ready to fire in. Let's see where the haymaker's at today. Early range haymaker. Oh, that's the MNQ 30 range haymaker. The haymaker lost 500 and stopped for the day. But our AI component, the haymaker, remember, the difference between those named strategies and the bots and drones is they're regular bots, the ones that are named. Haymaker, retirement plan, cash cow. Those don't have the AI integration. If you go to the 30 range bot and drones, those are the ones that have that AI integration. So here's the bot. The bot is at 1240 on the signal B. And a beautiful trade on crude oil. You can see my entry up here. And I'm just gonna move my profit target on down in hopes of a big move. It looks like this is the low right here where we're at. This blue dotted line, this pivot that formed, that's where price bounced off of last time on the last leg down. Okay, we got wicked out on the cash register. We're kind of bouncing right off our VWAP here again. Well, anyway, I'm dying to show you guys the fish. I'm sorry, I apologize. But I'll show you one picture before I end today. These mahi-mahi, these dolphin that we catch down here in South Florida, are just so much fun. You get one on the line. We were out of, oh man, were we out there? We were out about 15 miles. And we saw these birds. That's how you find them. The birds start diving into the water, eating the bait fish that these dolphin are chasing, or whatever. It could be tuna, dolphin. And we just so happened to find some birds about 15 miles out. And we trolled on by it. And sure enough, we got one on the line. And once you get one on the line, you keep them in the water. And the whole school, I mean, there must have been, I'm telling you, at least 50 or 100 of them just swarming the boat. And whatever you throw at them, very fast-paced, very fast-paced. You got to really be prepared, which we weren't. But we got lucky. And I always say it's better to be lucky than good. But within 15 minutes, we had 8 of them on the boat. And mahi-mahi, we call them dolphin. People think of dolphin, they think of a porpoise, like flipper. This wasn't a flipper. This was a mahi-mahi, the kind you get in the seafood restaurant. This crude trade is beautiful trade. Yeah, Doc. Oh my God, we got into this school, man, and you're supposed to have it, extra, poles ready. We didn't have anything ready. We were trolling around out in the middle of nowhere for about an hour. At about 8:30 in the morning, we were out there. We left. I must have left my house at 6, and we didn't think we were going to catch nothing. And everything changes in just a split second. Up, here we go. We got to pop to the upside. And we really weren't prepared for it. And then trying to tie the hook to the line while there's this frenzy going on and all this excitement. I couldn't get the fishing line through the knot to tie it. I got, salt water and blood in my glasses and the waves bouncing. I think I just emailed myself a picture, so I'll show it in just a minute after we're done trading here. It's almost 11 a.m. Yeah, you're right, Doc. No doubt. Days like that are great because it makes what makes it so sweet is there's several days you go all the way out there and you spend the money on the gas and the bait and you just don't catch nothing. You know, kind of like trading. You don't get a winner. Uh, well, today trading we caught something, and this weekend we caught something. So we're getting a little bit of a retracement here. I'm hoping we bounce off the 50 and continue down, but if it hits our stop, it was still a beautiful trade, and I'm happy. Yes, sir. Yes, Ralph. We did. We hit that 500, but anything more is icing on the cake, and we're going to try to put some icing on that cake today. What I was saying about the one pass is what for our members, we're going to be putting a one pass strategy for any size prop account um, in our prop members area of our Discord. If you pop in what size account you have, we're going to share with you a strategy that'll do a one trade pass. Take advantage of that 80% discount. It probably won't be the same strategy we use once we get the funded account, but let's pass the first hurdle and get the funded accounts because that can be very stressful. I know from experience. That's my wife in the background trying to control my 5-year-old bouncing off the walls. And we're getting a really nice bounce up here. Jerome Powell, he's causing a lot of volatility here. But listen, it was our signal B. Don't be fooled. It was our signal B that if you look at our leaderboard, what did the best today? Let me mute my phone. Give me a sec. The leaderboard. We have the signal B on top on the 30 range. Then we have a signal A in black gold, a signal A on the NQ, then the 30 range B, the 2-minute A, the CLA, the NASDAQ A, CLA, Cash Cows in A, on the RTY. So our leaderboard, a bit of a mixed bag, but I think the signal A's took it. Now you can see my Ligure oscillator on my crude trade. You can see now where it is. It popped up and it's headed straight up now. So momentum shifted. I'm going to disable my strategy on that and call it a day for my Apex account. So our Apex, we wound up after taking a few losers. We hung in there, and we picked a few winners, and we're up 1,060. see if I can bring this up. Sorry about that. Quietly, that this 2-minute retirement plan is off to the races on this up move. So we got a reversal here. So we know on these big news report days with the volatility, the signal A's really love that environment. They can get you into some monsters. Big shifts, up and down. And you can see it in our 15 EMA, our 50, I'm sorry. Our 50 is going from red to green to yellow to red to green. It's all over the place. And that's a volatile market, big swings up and down. Let me see if I could show you a picture. Here it is. This is the picture here. Now, this is a mahi-mahi that we caught over on Mother's Day, actually. And we're about 12 to 15 miles out here. And we caught him trolling. It was a ballyu, a bait fish that was underneath this feather here. But man, there must have been 50 or 100 of them swarming around in that school. And we brought one home. Mark Miller got me this great air fryer. And we filleted one of them, popped them right in the air fryer. And man, that was a fresh fish. Now you see our profit window just kicked in on the retirement plan. That profit window, once you hit that, you're in good shape. That means there's an equal distance now from your stop to your profit target. You're going to make some money when that happens. You want it to go to the blue line. But if it comes down to that red, you're still going to be in the money. So really the 30 range, the NQ 2-minute, they just crushed it today. Absolutely crushed it. Wow. That's incredible. Should be another good day of trading tomorrow. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. But those 8:30 reports, we let them, we keep them in sim. This is what I do. Now, everybody's risk tolerance is different. If you like risk, you could trade right through that report. And Mark Miller set a record, a company record, for trading through the reports. There's more risk associated with that. I just want to make that clear. Myself, I'm the conservative one, and I sit on my hands and I leave it in sim. And then I'll wait and make a decision as to if I want to go live on one of the different instruments. See if we could find any open positions to take a look at. We're looking at the retirement plan, the CLAI drone. Now, had I not attached my stop, to my 15 EMA, this is the trade that I would be in right now. I would still be in this trade. Okay, retirement plan 1665. Amazing. Let's come up. Okay, let's take a look at today. Go over the results here. All right, let's see what each one did. Cumulative between all of them, we're up $8,300. Had you enabled every single one of the strategies today, 8,300. On this evaluation account today, we're up 1,060. If I go back and start it off from when I started it, I'm up 2,030 on this. Taking a conservative route with very little drawdown. I'm at 2,000. Need 3,000 to pass the evaluation. And let's just stick to today's results. Black gold. Wow. Now, black gold had a tremendous day. Signal A up 950. That's the bot. The drone up 586. See, that's what that tells us is that our AI model is working very nicely there. Where the drone is maintaining the same position of the stop and the profit targets, it made $586. But with it feeding the information to the bot on where the most ideal locations are, it increased our profits to $951. So that's really how we designed it to work. I made a very conservative strategy on crude oil that takes very few trades, and I've made a lot of filters. And it looks like it just took a few trades. Being that conservative today, wasn't the best option, but in the long run, it might be. It took one trade and it won it for $165. Our ES cash register up 166. The bot down 312. The drone down $29. That one had the opposite effect. Gold nugget down 202. The bot on gold, the Signal A bot down 230. Signal A drone down 516. Signal B gold down 300. Down 522. So when we see that, and listen, that's totally normal for an instrument to be all red. But if you notice, I never put gold in any of my funded accounts today. The reason being is none of them were ever in the green. Okay, why would I take a strategy that's getting killed, getting crushed? Why would I put that strategy in my live account? I'd have to be crazy. So we sidestepped that. And then on our retirement plan, we crushed it. And these are the strategies that we, at one time or another during this session, that we did put on a funded account. We put our 2-minute on at one point. Between all the 2 minutes today, you could see it's just outrageous. $5,100 trading those 2-minute NASDAQs on the Signal A entries. Those Signal A entries with this volatility brought home the bacon. And then we had our Signal A's on the 30 range that didn't make out as well. What really made out today on the 30 range were those trend trading strategies. The Signal B bot was up 1,100. The drone up 2,000. So our Signal B's, the bot and the drone, up $3,177 today. 40%, 40% of our trades were profitable. 40%. So if we're playing that one day pass for the evaluations, we know 1 out of 3 we're going to hit it. Russell had some good strategies today as well. The signal A's on the Russell. The drone, the bot actually did better than the drone. The bot's up 553. The drone was down 110. So the drone telling the bot where to put its stops and profit targets again allowed us to have a green day. And really, I think this is what distinguishes us from our competitors. This AI integration, which is only going to get more powerful, is really improving the performance of these static bots that don't dynamically change. The Dow today, we're down on the signal A, about break even on the bot. The drone was up 360. The signal B had a red day. So all in all, really a phenomenal day trading. This AI auto, and I just want to tell you that I'm a terrible trader. Okay, I'm probably the worst trader. I'm probably worse than anybody here. But what I am pretty good at is the numbers. I'm good at looking at the performance and and I know the system. I know the entries. I know what triggers them, and I know the conditions. I familiarize myself with that, and I work here, so obviously I know that. So you don't have to be a good trader, but if you have a good understanding of the triggers, and if you look at your performance, I think that you have the potential, let me tell you, to make a lot of money with this system. And you don't have to be a great trader. That's my message. So one last thing I wanted to show you is we have a really great tool for discretionary trading. We call it our NDT. Our NDT is to take discretionary entries. If you see one of these X's or crosses come out on the chart, you can manually buy the entry signal, and cooked into the equation is going to be an ATM strategy. We could put the one-day pass strategy right into this. There's nothing preventing you from taking a trade on a discretionary basis if you're sitting in front of your chart. We've got a great tool that really makes it extremely simple to get you into these trades and manage them for you. This allows you to use really an automated trade management strategy that's saved in Ninja. We can share the templates with you. And this is a great tool that Right Line Trading has to execute trades on a discretionary basis. And that's called our NDT strategy. Really a great tool. I'm just looking to see if anybody had any questions before I wrap it up. Now you can see this crude oil trade is going to come back and laugh at me because now it rolled again. This is the trade, had I not squeezed it, would still be in it. But you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy with what I made. So, could I have made more money? This will show me whether or not I could have. But that's okay. It could have popped straight back up and I would have lost the money. So I'm really happy with the way the system traded this morning. And attaching my stops to that 15 EMA was put me $1,000 ahead. All right. So listen, I want to thank everybody for joining me. It was a great day trading. I wanted to just put in the chat box one last thing. If you want more information regarding the AI Auto Trader. I've got a page here that's going to give you the modules, how to build your own your own automated trade system, your own strategy templates, and I believe the most recent webinar will be on this page as well. If you haven't already come aboard and you like the system, and you want to learn more, I'm going to put a link in the room that you can learn more about it. Let me move this over here. We got professional options trader David Wise today at 4:30 is going to be doing a presentation on leveraging Heikin-Ashi bars. He's a master at it. It doesn't have, okay, let me put this link in the room, in the chat box. I just have to bring up my notepad just for a second, excuse me. Okay, here comes learn how to build your own bot. And I want to put in the chat box a registration link for today's webinar. We have two really great revenue streams here at Right Line Trading. One being a futures, and the other being options. We've got an extremely gifted and talented options trader who's going to be doing a webinar today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And Mr. David Wise trades with a 90% win rate trading options. I'm in a position right now that he recommended on Amazon. I was down on the position, but I'm hoping that it bounced today. It looks like the market's headed back up. I apologize for the delay. It'll just be another moment. So this is a workshop on how to leverage Heikin-Ashi bars into your trading. Great for spotting reversals, identifying a trend, how to use them to find high probability trade setups. David's a master at it. Okay, that's no wait. Sorry. How to leverage Heikinashi bars. Today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. David Wise has really become a mentor for me, and this guy's a professional trader, and he's in front of his charts 10 hours a day for the last 12 years, 13 years. Okay, so I just put that link in as well. And let me give you a few minutes to click on it. If you click on the top link, that's how to build your own ATM strategy, your own bot. And the second link is for today's webinar at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, I see on my picture might be blocking this. I don't want that to block it. You can see the results today. Just an outstanding day that we had on the AI Auto. And tomorrow we have the CPI. Today was PPI. Tomorrow's really the bigger one of the two. The CPI report. And that comes out at 8:30. Then at 10:30 we have the crude report, and hopefully we'll find some good trading opportunities that we can capitalize on. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. God willing, we'll see you here tomorrow. Have a blessed day, everybody. So long.